So all of you, forget about predefined functions what you have, because in some data engineer components that those predefined functions are available. In some other things, those functions might not be available. With your core weapons, what you can do here?
Alt.
Sriram, we can introduce another column in the table.
Suppose
and we can use ternary operation to wherever it is Q1, we can populate Q2 and then do a self join.
Yeah. So here the problem is, whenever you alter a column, added a column, to get a second row value over here, that is not possible.
We have to shift
case when can we use
rows.
Case when. Case when statement for each if it is Q1.
Yeah. Suppose you are saying that if it is Q equal to 1, make it as Q equal to 2, right? If I say to static value, how to bring this 45,002 over here again?
Then we can create 4 different columns with a filter where Q is equal to 1, create 1 row, Q is equal to 2, do 1 more row.
The solution already delivered by your team.
Same table join.
By join. Yeah.
Join, yeah.
Yeah. Instead of going for self join again, try to make it low level
common term expression CTE.
When you go for, observe this one, all of you. Suppose I have a Q report as one table. Okay. Think that this is as your table. Here I have, sir, session recording.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, started.
Yeah. Q and I have total. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So what was the, do you remember the previous payments?
30, 45,
30, 45,
90, and 120.
120 we have. Okay. Self join is best solution, but the internals of self join I'm going. Instead of directly taking the self join, I'm taking copy of this one. Let's say Q rep 2. What are the columns? Same columns. The values, I got same copy. $30, $45, $90, and $120. Think that same copies we have 2 sets. One is Q rep 1 and another one is Q rep 2. I have taken copy of the same thing. Okay, sir. First of all, please start thinking about Cartesian product, sir. Set A, set B. I have 1, 2. Here I have AB. If I apply Cartesian product, what will happen? Each
4 rows will
come. 1A, 1B.
1A, 1B, 2A, 2B.
Right.
That means 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B. Okay. So if I have 2 elements in the left side, 2 elements in the right side, how many things?
4.
4 things. Okay. Now try to apply Cartesian product for this. The Cartesian product you can achieve by using
Cross apply.
Cross join.
Cross join, yeah.
Meaning that Cartesian product.
Yes.
How many rows I will get? Left side I have 4. Right side I have 4.
16.
16.
Totally 4 into 4, 16 you will get, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Now observe here. Look at only first row. That only about column Q. Only column Q. 1, 1. Next. 1, 2.
1, 2.
1, 3. 1, 4. Next, look at the 2, sir.
2, 1. 2, 1.
2, 1.
2, 2.
2, 3.
3, 1. 3, 2. 3, 3. 3, 4. Final.
4, 1.
4, 1.
4, 2.
4, 2.
4, 3.
4, 3.
And 4, 4.
4, 4. Got it?
Yeah.
Now look at only first one. Look at only first column. Totally 16 rows, 16 pairs. I got it. Just a minute. Look at only first column. What you want comparison, sir? If all these things are quarter numbers, I don't want to compare this one. If you treat it as Q1, if you treat it as Q2, what should be our condition? Q2 minus Q1 equal to 1, right?
Yes.
Only what will be true? If Q2 minus Q1 equal to true, what will be true? Only 1, 2. That means quarter 1 is available.
Quarter 1 to quarter 2.
Quarter 1 is available with quarter 2 or not? If my cross join condition is this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Remaining rows will be eliminated or not? Do apply same thing here.
3 minus 2.
Q2 minus Q1 equal to 1. What will be? This will be eliminated.
Yeah.
1, because 1 minus 2 is minus 1. Condition false.
That will
0 condition false. 3 minus 2 condition true.
true.
Again, this will be eliminated. If you apply the same condition here, what will be available? Eliminated, eliminated, eliminated. This will be taken.
1.
Okay. Come on, try to apply the same condition. What will be the true here? False.
Everything will be false.
False. False.
First one is
Everything is false, sir. Everything is false because our condition Q2 minus Q1. Q2 minus Q1 equal to 1.
1.
Because the last quarter need not to be compared with its next quarter. Understand? Third quarter needs to be compared with fourth one, okay. Second one to be compared with third one, okay. One to be compared with 2, okay. But fourth one need not to be compared with anyone because that is the last quarter. So how many rows will be taken? From the first 4, 1, 2 will be taken. From the second, 2, 3 will be taken. From third, 3 and 4 will be taken. Got it? So this will happen when you apply like self joins internally with your condition, but instead of that applying self join, simply I am taking a copy of first set to second set, and finally I am applying cross join. Once this content is joined, that means what are the things are joining here? This and this as one set. Set 1. These 2 things as set 2. These 3 things as set 3. These 3 rows will be available for us. Got it? Now, only for this operation, you tell me the statement. Think that already your data is there. From the data, after that, you have extracted month and salary, month and sales amount. After that, you transformed this one into quarters. Quarter and amount is available. After that, you applied grouping query based on the quarter. Within these 4 rows are available to you as quarter and total. I am taking copy of, let's treat it as number 1. I am taking its copy. Q GRP2 equal to select star from Q GRP1. After completion of this explanation, the entire code I will show you from beginning to ending. Now, 2 sets are available here. This is having 4, this is having 4. Apply the cross join.
Sir, we can achieve this through inner join also, right?
Pardon?
Inner join.
Inner join will not help you. Inner join will not.
Your P1 dot Q1 plus 1 equals to
no.
GRP2 dot.
No. So for that, other alternative solutions we will discuss later. Come on, please try to say answer to me how to apply this cross.
Extract, select.
Think that already extractions are over. Directly already in your hand, these two things are available with these fields.
Q cross
Cross join.
Select.
Select star.
Select, don't say star. Okay.
Select Q group.
X dot Q as Q1 I am saying. Okay.
Okay.
Immediately I want Y dot Q.
Y dot Q.
As
Q2.
X dot total as, let's say, TOT1. Y dot TOT
as TOT2.
As TOT2. Okay. This one and this one are coming from first set. And these two things are coming from second set. Now, from my left side data set,
QGRP1.
QGRP1.
GRP1.
Here I am applying
Cross join.
Cross join.
Let's say one alias for this as X.
Okay.
Second one. Right side.
GRP2.
At the rate
QGRP2.
GRP2.
As Y.
As Y.
As
on.
Y. Don't say on here.
Where?
Where?
X dot
Q1 equal X dot.
What you are expecting?
Where X dot Q1 equal to?
No. 1, 2, 3.
3, 4.
3, 4 you are expecting. That means the condition should be like this. What? Q2 minus Q1 equal to?
1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Where
X dot Y dot
Q2.
Y dot Q2.
Already you said alias.
X dot Q2.
Already you said alias. Just say Q2.
Yeah. Y dot Q2 minus
Q2 minus
Q2 minus Q1
Q1 equal to 1.
1.
Equals to
1.
1. Okay. Now how many rows you will be getting here? Suppose if there is no join condition, like where if there is no this condition, how many rows you will get? 16. Because of this condition,
only 3 rows.
Only 3 rows.
Yeah.
Got it? Okay.
Sir, here a small doubt. Sir.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, here we are having Q group 1 and Q group 2, no, sir? In that, what we are having?
Same data.
Nothing. Yeah.
Both are having same data.
Copy of the table.
Q1 how much sale, Q2 how much sale, Q3 how much sale, Q4 how much sale. Both are having same data.
Okay, sir.
Okay, already in the previous picture you have seen that.
Yes.
Okay.
So Sriram, in general, we should avoid cross joins. Maybe this is an optimal solution for 1 year, assuming we have 15 years of data. 15 years about 60 quarters.
Yeah, definitely is not at all optimal solution. But here the situation demands me to go for that one.
No, we should go for this only if it is 1 or 2 years. I mean, it is like we are loading huge set of data and then we are filtering it.
Yes.
Right? The heavy competition has to happen unnecessarily.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If there is no solution, we can go for that. But what I believe is there should be a simple solution. When I say simple, which we are not loading lakhs of records to get thousands of records.
But here in this case, so first of all, you have to generate that one. Okay. You have to generate because you are working with not initial data. So later, after completion of all these steps, where you can do optimization, we will think. Huh? Okay. Now you know what is the output content of CR. What are the fields here? You have Q1, Q2,
Q3,
total 1, total 2. But whenever I call it this CR, always what will happen? Whenever I call this CR, always what will happen? Cross join will be executed. Okay. Whenever I try to use this CR, cross join will be executed. That's why simply load it into some file, later use that file next onwards. Next onwards, no need of cross join for this. Okay. For now, straight away I am applying this one. At the rate result is equal to. My input is from this one. Okay, actually we should write in uppercase, but on Paint to write uppercase letters a little difficult to me. That's why I will use small letters, sir. In Notepad, in the while typing into the text, I will use exact syntaxes. I'm just keeping in small letters. What is the first field I want? Q1.
Q1.
Q2. Next field?
Total
1 and total 2. Let's talk about this one, sir. For the first row, if it is 1, what is this value? 2.
30.
What is this value?
30 lakhs.
What is this value?
45.
In general, if you are in second quarter, this is your current, right? This will be your previous. What additionally, what is our target?
That quarter.
Which quarter is highest? Which quarter is highest?
No. Our purpose is to find out growth rate. For example, my previous value is 10. Current value is 15. What is the growth rate? You tell me.
15 minus 10 divided by 15.
That means
50%.
15 minus 10 divided by 15 into 10 into 100. The formula is like this. Current value minus previous value divided by previous value into 100. What is the result now? 50%. The value positive or negative value here?
Positive.
Positive means the sales is 50% increased.
Yes.
For example, if our result is minus 30, that means your sales is, when compared with the previous quarter, 30% decreased. That thing you can understand from this growth rate. For this, please, if it is current, if it is previous, how to apply this formula? Tell me.
Total 2 minus total 1.
Total 2
divided by total 1.
minus total 1.
Divided by total
divided
1.
by
total
1. Whole into
100.
100. This is as
Growth rate.
From what is your input data object?
Rows.
Cross. Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
Getting this point? In this way, yes. So here, what is the need that we have taken help of this cross join? Why we have taken help of this cross join? Because different rows to be compared itself. Different rows to be compared. That is the purpose of this one. Okay. So let's try to start from the beginning. Once this code is completed, what are the chances that you can optimize this model? So what to title?
Growth rate.
Yeah. Compare and find growth rate. Between quarter sales of an year. This is simple task. So first step, as usual, let's say the data is sales. You know, extract syntax. First one DT, but format is different. So directly I am taking it as a string only. Next, like customer ID, product ID, customer ID, product ID. And finally, what I need is amount. Amount, int or float, whatever the thing you want, you just take it. From my path is my data. Let's say the file name is sales.txt or CSV. So the extractor we need to specify using extractors. X-axis dot CSV. This is statement 1. Okay, I don't want all the remaining unnecessary fields. In generally, if you take a sales, a lot of fields will be there. I don't want all the fields. To work with this, I did only these two things. I am separating those two things. Let's say sales to M sales. The month sales I am taking, only month and amount I am going to extract it. Select. So for now, I am not using any date functions. D2 dot substring. What is the position, sir? First two characters.
Date.
First, the piece day name. Fourth position. Fourth and 2. Let's say fourth and 2.
Yeah.
4, 5. I think in C#, last index will be taken or excluded. Excluded or included, last index.
Included.
Included.
If it is included, 4 and 5. Okay. So this thing I am converting as integer. Let's say as month. Month. Next, I want the amount as it is. From your previous table @ sales, you are not filtering any rows. Think that this data set is having only 1 year sales. Now month is extracted, sir. Now I want to convert those months into quarter numbers. Q sales equals to. Please convert this into quarters. Month number I want to convert as quarters.
Select month, MON.
Month. Month less than or equal to.
Quarter equal to case when.
Month equal to 1 to 3.
Or
Select month from
3.
Sorry, whenever new
select quarter equal to case when.
You can
case
use
when month 1 to
case when.
No,
1, 2, 3
less than 4.
equal to quarter.
Case when less than 4, it is quarter 1.
Sir, try to make it as generic. That's why let's go with a 10 array operator. Yeah, come on, 10 array operator syntax. You can go with a case, but you need to fix static values. Okay, but this situation may not be fit for other situation. That's why try to apply the 10 array operator here.
Select
my condition month.
Select quarter
less than or
month
less than 4.
Month less than 4. Then what I need?
Q1.
Then Q1.
Just value 1 I need, right?
Okay. Yes, correct.
Else, in the place of else, I am giving one condition.
Month
less than or equal to.
Month less than
equal to
4, 5, 6. That means can I say M less than 7?
7.
We should say month is greater than 7.
Greater than 4.
Sir, no need of saying greater than 4. When you come to this, if the above condition false only, you are coming to this one, right?
Correct.
Right.
Okay. M less than 7. Then quarter number
2. Else.
Still else.
Another condition. Less than 7.
What are the months?
M less than
7,
10.
8, 9.
10.
That means M
10,
less
10.
than 10.
3.
Then go with quarter number 3. Still else.
Else.
4 less than or equal to. Okay, no problem.
Not required. Yeah.
No, else 4.
Else 4, right?
Yeah.
Right.
If all the 3 conditions for false means definitely the month should be here 10, 11, 12. Correct.
number.
Q4.
One more bracket. Set one alias for this. As simply I am saying Q for quarter, sir. Next,
Yes,
in the amount, I don't want to perform any transformation. Just amount as it is. Okay. From what is it? Table name? Previous input table name?
M sales.
M sales. Okay. No need to apply any filters, right? Just close it.
For the second and third conditions, automatically when it is less than 7, 1 is also falling into that. There is no confusion for the system and all.
No confusion. Already strictly you have specified brackets. In the place of false area, you have given one more condition.
Brackets will read.
Okay. Now everything is ready now. The required inputs are ready. Quotas and sales amount is ready. Now next step is what, sir? I want to generate.
make another table.
Group by the quarter.
Group by the quarters. Tell me query for this.
Select Q1, Q,
sum of sales, sum of amount.
From
Q sales.
The rate M sales, the rate Q sales. Group by
Q.
Group by quarter.
Quarter. I want another set of copy now.
Yeah, for cross join.
Q1.
Select star from QGRP1. QGRP1.
At the rate Q.
GRP1.
Now both are having same sets, right? Apply the cross over here. Select X dot Q as Q1. Y dot Q as Q2. X dot total as T1.
Y dot total as T2.
As T2. Straight away I can apply my execution logic here, right? For the growth rate. What is the formula? What is the formula?
T2 minus T1.
T2 minus T1.
T2 minus T1
by T1
by T1
into 100.
Whole into
100.
As.
Sir, one doubt, sir. Sorry.
Yes, please.
Sir, at the rate A group 1, from at the rate Q sales are M sales, sir. Because Q is not there in.
Where in M sales? In M sales, there is no, only month is there. Based on that month, you transform it as quarter number in the second phase. Okay?
Fine.
From left side table. At the rate Q.
Q group 1.
Simply applying cross join.
At the rate Q group.
At the rate Q group 2.
At the rate Q GRP2.
Where?
Service we did not set aliases.
Yeah.
As Q.
As X.
Sorry, X.
As
Y.
As Y.
Condition.
Where?
What is your condition?
Q2 minus
Q1
equal to 1.
Q2 minus Q1 equals to
1.
Sir, one question, please.
Yeah, please.
Sir, in SQL, the order of execution is after where clause select list will execute. Here you are mentioning Q2 minus Q1. But after where clause only the select list will form, right? In SQL.
Pardon?
The order of execution after where clause execution, then only select list will form in SQL.
Not like that.
Not like that. While selecting the rows, parallelly it will check the condition.
Exactly.
Okay. Suppose it has retrieved the first row. After that condition check. If condition true, it will take it. Otherwise, it will leave it. Got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, we can't perform with single table cross join. I mean, group 1.
Solution, self joins are there. Okay. But again, when you apply self joins, internal conversion is cross joins.
Okay.
Okay. So you are trying to reduce that conversion time. Okay. Okay. Now we got it. How many fields are here, sir? Q1, Q2. That means Q1 as previous, Q2 as latest.
5 columns.
Totally 5 columns will be generated from this table. And after that, if you want to write this output, apply the output statement.
Output at the rate.
Let's say quarter comparison.
Output at the rate.
We did forget that. Output at the rate. CR to your output file using here some give some extension like let's say .csv using outputters
CSV
.csv. Got it? So your output file will be stored. But this cross-join data is used by so many other different things. So here only I performed growth rate. Next I want to perform different analytics. That's why I better say, okay, within the cross only you have applied, right? Next onwards directly you will take data from this file, sir. So instead of, because cross-join will obviously cause a lot of latency. But when compared with the traditional SQLs here in the distributed computing way, this will somewhat better. Okay. So next onwards, suppose for second analytics number 2, what I have to do? If I have written data like this in the second analytics number 2, I want to perform other different operation. Instead of start my work from the beginning, straight away I will take input from. I will take input from this CSV.
Yeah.
So now, so next onwards, no need to apply the joins, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. On that way. So all these things in the previous examples and today after break examples, we call them as complex transformation. Means complex means not to our brain. Complex means to the executing the systems. Okay, because generally in 2 cases, your systems will become slower. In 2 cases, your systems will be slower. Data volume bigger. Second one is algorithm complex is high. All of you understood?
If you want to use from next time onwards, I think we should save the data without a filter, because we are applying where is equal to this thing, right? Without this, we should have saved this thing so that it contains all the 16 rows.
Yeah, suppose some cases, sir, there will be some other second phase of analytics like this. You want to compare quarter number 4 with 3, with 2, with 1. If my requirement is like this, understood? What you said is correct. So in this moment, without applying any filter, save as it is. Next onwards, try to use that one, saved content. Because I am not interested only 4 to be compared with 3, 4 to be compared with 2, and 4 to be compared with 1. Okay, sir. One use case for you, like I will tell you. I hope all of you are into our groups. This will be the final phase. Only with our data only, I will make it as a big project, sir. So within this, all the phases will be covered. Okay, now just giving overview. I hope all of you are in groups, Azure Data Engineer groups. Okay, let's talk about AZ group 1, sir. How many people are here?
255.
257 is the max limit, right?
Right.
After that, we go for AZ group 2 and group 3. And by day before yesterday, we achieved group 9 also.
Right.
Okay. Now, for easy calculation, let's make it 250 for each group. The thing that we have went for group number 10. Okay. Now my management is very happy with me.
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Bharat has gathered 2,500 people.
Yes.
My management is in that happy moment. But in fact, reality is only 890 people are there. All of you understood?
Duplicate records.
Yeah, duplicate records.
Correct.
Okay. So suppose if my analysis is wrong, if I expect like 250, tomorrow I want to sell some product. So if I feel that my target audience will be as 250, my analysis will be wrong or not?
Definitely.
Definitely it's wrong.
Yeah. Now treat each group as a campaign 1. This is as campaign 2. Of course, all these are the free groups. We did not invest anything. Okay, we took help of the social media.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Suppose think that these are the paid campaigns. Okay, these are the paid campaigns. For each campaign, there is a budget. Let's say for first campaign, we have invested 25,000 rupees. For campaign 2, we have invested 30,000 rupees. Okay. So I need analytics like this. In the campaign 1, how many leads I got? 250. In the campaign 2, how many leads I got? 250. What is my, please suggest me how I can use this data for my next level analytics. To make mature, to make optimize of my campaign 3, what kind of analytics are required for me? So in campaign 1, I achieved the target. In campaign 2, I achieved the target. But what about 250 here, 250 here, but common people are already 150. Now, what is the uniqueness? What is the unique after campaign 2? This is my question.
150.
Simply, I believe all of you has crossed with your basic 10th class mathematics. This
intersection.
Set B.
Yes.
So here we have 250 people. Here we have 250 people. 150 is the common. How many only for who are not in B? Who are not in B? How many are unique for only A? 100 people are here. So here 100 people are here. Understand? So what is the total uniqueness here? What is the total uniqueness here?
150.
Totally A union B minus
A union B minus A
intersection
B.
A intersection B. What is A union B?
500.
What is A intersection B?
150.
150.
350.
350. So here I need analytics now like this. C1 I have 250. After C2 I have so here 250 achieved, but total is total leads here 250. But here after C2, what are the total leads?
350.
350. After C3, again I got 250, but total leads is only 525. After C4, I have 250 here, but total achievement is 520. Like this, I need analytics.
Right.
Understood? This is just phase 1. In the phase 2, again, I am going to for ROI calculations in phase 2. For campaign 1, how much I invested, how much I got it. But in campaign 2, I increased the investment, but how much I got, whether I'm into profit mode in terms of lead gathering, I'm into profit mode or loss mode. So all these kind of analytics are into next phase is required. In this way, many complex operations, everything depends on our client requirement and our client questions. There are no static questions. Okay, static questions are few. Only I need these sort of reports every monthly or every weekly or every daily. But daily there will be so many ad hoc questions. But problem is, of course, luckily we are a small organization. That's why our leads per each group is 250. Think that we started promoting a Telegram. What is the group limit? There are limitless groups are there into the Telegram.
No limit. No limit.
In such cases, like definitely, obviously, your
live streaming.
Yeah. Live streaming is required. That to live streaming with big volumes of data you need to delete. Understood what the point? And next phase is, sir. This is phase number 1. Already this is our 3rd weekend is going on. Next week I need I need some analytics over attendance. I need attendance over. I need analytics on the attendance data. In the first session, we have 280 people. In the second session, we have 250 people. In the third session, we have only 180 people. In the third session, before break, we have 200 people. Think that in this way, like we have this one. I want like a top 10 regular attendances. In this way, if our journey went for like 90 classes, if our journey went for 90 sessions, okay. Now I want to understand the top 10 regular students. Here in our case, our data is small only, but the algorithm to execute your processes, the algorithms are complex. So definitely I will have to use not normal systems. I have to use data engineering systems only to deal with your big data. So big data means always don't think that a huge volume. Big data means the definition of the big data given by Apache is
Volume, variety, and velocity.
A simple definition, they have given complex data. Okay. The complex means it can be volume, or it can be complex. The data which causes complex algorithm to process it. Especially why you call image as complex data?
Because we have to convert image into numeric, where it requires a lot of.
So generally there are automatically the tools are there. If it is image, is a single dimension object or multi-dimension object?
Multi-dimensional.
Okay. So what exactly the multi-dimension? Please go through my Python sessions. I explained it later. If it is image, basically 3 dimensions will be there. Dimension 1, dimension 2, dimension 3. The first dimension is for red color. This is for green. This is for blue. So image is a 3-dimensional RGB pixel matrix. Pixel object. What are the pixel values here?
1 megapixel.
What are the pixel values here? What might be the values in the pixel? Each pixel is a cell of your array, cell of your matrix. Each pixel is a cell of your matrix. Okay, if you take any dimension, any color dimension, the pixel value is in between 0 to 255. 255. Okay, suppose you are working with image data. What kind of transformations are required? Come on, sir, any data scientists here or machine learning engineers? What kind of transformations are required?
Pixel into.
Already have pixels here.
Yeah.
To read the data, you have different other.
TF-IDF.
The TF-IDF is for text to numeric. It's already numbers, right? It's already numbers.
Lexel or something.
You have to apply scaling as one transformation. Okay, don't worry about this one. Later, when you step into the Spark MLlib, I will explain you how to deal all these things. Okay, scaling as one transformation. Because some values are 0, some values are 255, some values are 190, some values is again 17. If it is like this, machine learning models cannot learn the patterns from the data. They need scaling for this. Generally, the scaling, each pixel value minus mean of that pixel value divided by standard deviation of this x. But when I apply this one, some values will be positive, some values will be negative. But in case of image should contain all pixels as positive values only. That's why others different scaling technique, each pixel value divided by max of all pixel values we will be applying. In this way, different scaling techniques. This is called in data engineering department. This kind of work is called
data engineering.
No. In data engineering department only, this kind of work is called. There will be a lot of image related pre-processing you need to do. Pre-processing before applying on that in analytics on that images data, or building models on that image data. You need to perform a lot of activities of pre-processing like augmentation, image augmentation, scaling. In this way, a lot of transformations you have to do. And you need to reduce some dimensionality. All these things comes under. Have you heard about this word, all of you?
Feature engineering?
Yes, feature engineering. Okay. So already I told you in the beginning session, your data, you are a data engineer. That means your data will be of many varieties. It can be structured. Our previous examples based on the structured. The techniques different. You can go with SQL based techniques, of course, in our Azure data engineer, especially in Databricks or USQL you are using. If it is Databricks, you are using Spark SQL. Spark SQL is 100% solution if data is structured. What about if my data is unstructured? If data is unstructured, you have different varieties. Again, text can be unstructured. Your image can be unstructured. It can be of anything. If it is this one, you will be using Spark
SQL,
MLlib with
PySpark,
NLP. Of course, in PySpark only. Everything we are doing in PySpark only. Okay. If it is image, again, Spark MLlib. There are different image-based libraries are there. You can use those libraries. Many libraries are available like this. Understand? What is another data? Another variety of data? Sir,
Video.
please go to mute.
Semi-structured.
Semi-structured.
Of course,
Semi-structured.
video nothing but, sir, video is a collection of frames. Image is a collection of. Image is what? Image is what?
Collection of pixels.
Collection of 3-dimensional pixels, right?
Yes.
So video is a collection of frames. Each frame is a collection of images. In this way, one-to-one interlink is there. Okay. So if it is semi-structured, you have JSON, XML, such kind of things. Most popular is JSON nowadays. So directly Spark SQL can read. Even your ADF can read. Okay. And if it is data lake analytics, even directly USQL can read. Anything can read if it is semi-structured. That means we have good solutions with structured and semi-structured. But if data is unstructured, only the Spark will help you for the big volumes of data.
So what if audio files?
Audio is also same thing. Audio also comes under what? Unstructured only. Okay. Again, to work with audios, again, different libraries. Even Google kind of systems are giving the speech analytics, speech recognition, such kind of things. Okay.
If the data is unstructured in terms of nested JSON kind of data, how you do actually? We do parsing, custom parsing.
Yeah, can you explain this the thing? Voice breaking.
Yeah, like network data, right? It will be like unstructured data, like nested kind of data actually.
Yeah.
Nested kind of. So how we do parsing actually in that case?
Nested means nested JSONs.
Yeah.
If it is nested JSONs, direct solutions. No need to use any additional libraries.
We can't able to use the JSON kind of APIs. We can't able to parse the data actually using that existing APIs.
So if it is nested JSON, straight away dump that into text file. Dump that into text file or JSON file. Directly you. I will mute. Sir, please cooperate, sir. At the time you are speaking with someone, please mute yourself and speak with some other one. Okay. Yeah. Sir, it doesn't matter. The existed APIs of Spark will support nested also. Remember this point. Okay. In Spark SQL, directly have the facility to work with nested JSON records. Clear? No need to use any additional APIs while you are working with Spark, especially if the input is in nested and complex structure of JSONs. Okay. Next, anything, sir? I unmuted you.
Okay, sir. Yeah, understood.
Yeah. Let me go to another different scenario now.
Sir, Google Lens works on which methodology, sir?
Internally, Google Lens is using completely deep learning, that to convolutional neural networks and convolutional and recurrent neural network combination. Of course, this is high level statement, open secret, but internally Google may use even advanced technologies also for this one. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially, sir, being a data engineer, first of all, you start thinking out of BI environment. Don't get stuck into the BI. Okay, we have OLTP systems and we are taking into loading into warehouse. After that, we are provisioning data to the BI visualization teams. So please stop thinking, because your designation is not BI engineer, your designation is a data engineer. To many people, you need to provide your data, provision your data. Okay. So sometimes you need to coordinatively work with data science teams. That means a data engineer and data science team. Data engineer and BI teams. Data engineer with DevOps teams. In this way, with many teams, because whatever the processing you have done, the processing needs to be kept into the productions. As your models are running here, as our transformations are running here, the transformed models to be migrated into productions. At the time, you need help of the data pipelines to be deployed into productions. Okay, so at the time you will be interacting with the DevOps teams. And lot data is business. For business decision making, you need to provision data into the warehouse. At the time, BI people will be taking that one. Okay, to run machine learning based applications, to build machine learning models, deep learning models, or NLP based applications, or artificial intelligence like reinforcement learning based applications, to provide your data to them. Okay, again, your data project, because the transformations what you are doing for BI is different. The transformations what you are doing for data science is different. Got it? So on that way, it depends on your target, to whom you want to provision your data. Based on that, your transformation styles will be completely different. Okay. Now one task I want to give you, sir.
Yes.
Sir, sorry.
Very simple task.
Question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir,
Sir, your questions are please be on related topics only.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So here we are comparing with the two columns, right? So I think a quarter and sum of amount. In case of multiple years, will cross join is effective?
Sir, please stop thinking about your small systems. Please stop thinking about the small systems. Small systems could not able to do. That's why you are using big data systems. Okay. Whether it is 1 year data, or 2 years data, or 20 years data, doesn't matter. Suppose if you buy your small system, 20 years data processing time is 1 year. Suppose let's say 20 days time. You know, with the big data systems, the same thing you will achieve in just hour. Okay, how big your cluster size is depends on that. Your processing is dependent, like your processing time will be dependent on that. Okay.
Okay, no sir. I think my question is like here we are taking only the two columns like quarter and sum of amount, but we need to compare quarter by sales for 3 years, like we are comparing 2014, 2015, 2016.
Anything is possible. Only the logic in the programming will be changing. That's it. Okay. Previous logic suits only for quarter comparison. Suppose I want to do it for multiple years. Again, little extension to my existing logic. Understood? Little extension to my existing logic. But don't worry about execution engines. Okay. Engines are powerful over here.
No, my concern is about these things, so not an execution part, actually the cross join part. That's what, because here we are getting 16 rows, right? So as one of person said, if you have multiple years,
only for 4, again, I got 16 here.
If
I have 20 years, if I have 20 years, how many things I am getting? 20 into 20 comparison, 400 rows I will get here.
Okay.
20 into 20. Understand? If I have 20 years data, Second thing, I am taking another 20 years data of copy, same copy. 20 into 20, how much? For 4 into 4, I got 16. For 20 into 20, how much? 400. 400 is not at all a big deal for big data system. Understand? Suppose you are traveling on by your bike. Okay. If I keep 1 ton weight on your head, then that will be problem to you. If you are traveling on a goods train, okay, goods train. If I keep 1 ton weight, what's the problem to the train? Understood my question? So depends on your transport vehicle. Choose the weight like this. But if it is normal OLTP system like SQL Server of Microsoft, Oracle, or DB2, at that time, this will be the problem. Here we are using a powerful execution rocket engines, which is a Spark, such kind of things. So that don't worry about the execution speeds. Previously 10 hours time is taking means here you will definitely achieve the same thing into 30 minutes like this. Okay. So don't worry about that one. Okay. Let's come back to my scenario. I forget, sir. What scenario I wanted to explain.
You were about to give us a task.
What task? What task? I forget actually.
You are writing profile.
We have written profile.
I have written profiles, sir.
It's the data engineer profiles.
Yeah. So that's why, sir, whenever I am doing some action, please wait before asking the question. Please wait. Let me complete the task. Yeah, we have profiles like this. Small task to you. This is a task assignment to you. Same as usual, regular columns.
Gender, department number.
Okay. I'm removing this gender, sir. Department number. I'm keeping project ID. Think that these are the profiles of software profiles. Okay. First person 101, name and his salary, male, project ID P1, second P2, P4, P5. I want to make it as a little complex. P3. The unique projects P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. These are the projects. There is another table. This table is having only project. Here I have something. Project ID and project title. Started or not. Suppose project P1, the title, some big data. Project started. That means think here some Boolean value. If started, not started. Project 2. Let's say application developer. Not yet started. Project 3. Something ETL project, only ETL project. Started. Like this. That means started project team. is as active. And not started projects. Is as bench. Now analysis is like this. For active, what is total salary budget? Suppose some people are in active projects. For them, the budget is 9 crore. Some people are on bench. Suppose the project, suppose you have been taken for project number 2, but project number 2 is not yet started as per this example. Okay. So, but still, even though you are on the bench, you are taking salary. Okay. So bench, the project budget is 12 crore. Now final analytics required is ratio between active and inactive. That means active and bench team. Bench team budgets. All of you take a screenshot of my task and save into your place. This is what simple requirement. This is assignment number 1 for you. Did you understand my task meaning?
Here we have two tables.
2 separate tables.
Okay.
In one table, only software engineers list is there. In another table, the company, what projects it is dealing, that list is there. But some projects already started, some projects yet to be started. Okay. The team members of running projects are treated as active. The team members who are for the team members for which projects not yet started, they are treated as bench. So what is the total salary budget of bench, total salary budget of active? And finally, what is the ratio between active and bench team that I need? All of you understood the task meaning? So just take only 4 or 5 sample rows and 2 or 3 sample projects, and join is definitely the solution. So in this example, cross join or normal joins?
Normal join.
Normal inner join. Inner join.
Yeah, inner join will help you. Okay. So how you will perform transformation? After applying the join, how you are going to apply the transformation, and finally how you are going to achieve the final task. Okay. So that thing, please come with me a solution tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow I will finish this USQL part. Till today we have taken all the sessions without tables of USQL. But in USQL, you can create your own tables also, own database tables, views, and all these things. So how to manipulate with the tables? What is the advantage if I proceed with the tables? What other benefit I will get when compared to directly going with the files? So that scenarios we try to understand tomorrow. Tomorrow I will show execution of those tables. In this way, sir, for every concept in the beginning, I will show execution because the charges will be applied more for the paid pay-as-you-go accounts. Okay. So now time is 9:43. Please, any questions for 5 minutes, then we close. And after that, I need to jump into another different session.
2 tables, right? Profiles and project.
Yes, yes. In our case, those are separate files. Okay, in database point of view, those are 2 separate tables. Just take a screenshot. Don't try to write it. Yes, sir.
So when do we have to go with Azure Cosmos, sir?
Yeah, Cosmos is purely no SQL database. No SQL means?
No relation.
Not no relation, not only.
Unstructured data.
Not unstructured. Not unstructured again. Not only
Not only SQL.
The requirement of this one, record to record. If you look at my first video, first recorded session, you will understand about NoSQL. Record to record if structure is different. Okay, then RDBMS is not suitable. At the time, you have to go for NoSQL databases. But here, different varieties of databases like a key value store, document store, columnar store, and a graph store. Okay, so in the case of document store, the popular examples:
MongoDB,
Mongo, Couch, and in case of our Azure, we have
Cosmos DB.
Cosmos. Okay, so exactly this requirement will be satisfied by the document store databases. You can go with MongoDB, you can go with Cosmos DB or CouchDB. MongoDB, that is MongoDB product, and CouchDB Apache product. Cosmos DB is our Microsoft.
Azure.
Okay.
Okay. So still more details like, so what exactly the need of, why we need to maintain record to record different structure. Please watch session number 1.
Yeah, like Amazon different products and all, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I have one more question.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I mean, if we know like PySpark and Databricks is good for data engineering, right? Like, then why do we have many products like Azure Data Factory or like this USQL Data Analytics? We can directly use PySpark.
Data Factory is the orchestration purpose.
Yeah, but we can do in Databricks also, right? The ETL part.
You can do, sir. You can do.
But creating pipelines.
Without ADF also, you can do that one. One simple thing, sir. I'm giving you luggage of 25 kg weight. Do you engage a lorry as a transport vehicle to bring this into, to transport your vehicle?
Auto is enough.
Okay. Everything depends. Everything is depends. So whatever the activities possible by ADF, we will take help of ADF there. Wherever ADF is feeling difficult, there we will take help of Databricks. Because for everything Databricks, if you use your monthly budget, instead of 1 crore, your monthly budget may be 10 crores for your organization.
Exactly.
Understand?
Okay.
So on that way, everything. And one point I forget here in the beginning, today beginning only I told you, still, even though Databricks is there in Azure Databricks is there, why still some companies are going for USQL? Anyone please answer? Try to say. Please think 1 minute.
Because of budget.
Somebody is selling flowers and vegetables on the roadside. That voice is coming to here. Again, I'm unmuting you. Tell me answer, please.
So because of budget
constraints and cost.
Cost budget, yeah. If you use Azure Data Factory, then it will be Cosmos.
No, just compare with these two. Compare with these two.
Databricks, you need to create a cluster.
High speed.
Databricks is charged according to each clusters.
This is very high speed, of course, expensive, sir.
Costly.
Understand?
Yeah.
So this is when compared with the Databricks, okay, little slow, but cheaper.
But little bit cheap as well.
Cheap as well.
I am running job 1 here, job 2 from here. I am running job 3 here and job 4 here. Why like this? Why I don't run all the jobs here? Why I don't run all the jobs here?
Because of the requirement.
Yeah, because there are some jobs are immediately within 30 minutes, the results should be exported into online systems. Sir, please mute, sir. Within 30 minutes, the data has to be processed. The results should be exported into online systems within 30 minutes. My requirement is emergency. The job should not take 10 hours time, or job should not take 5 hours time like that. At that time, I don't care about expense. I will care about Speed only.
Speed on time only.
But there are some jobs throughout the night, the jobs are running. Tomorrow afternoon or day after tomorrow afternoon, I will export into my systems. So for that, why I should put unnecessary expense? Simply I go with the cheaper models.
Can we also process this Kafka using this Databricks like online?
Yes,
streaming?
you can. Existed streaming systems, especially in Apache frameworks, that is Kafka. Okay, think that your client is not ready to remove Kafka from his systems. Still, he is capturing the streams only through the Kafka only. Now we want to perform the micro batches using Azure. If it is Azure, you have two solutions for that. One is Azure streaming.
SQL stream. Sorry, Spark stream.
Azure. Under Azure again Databricks. Under Databricks again you have
Spark streaming.
Spark streaming. Understand?
In Azure,
you can capture like this, and you
So,
can
so
process.
everything is near real time, right? Nothing.
Yeah, near real time only.
So my question is related to that only, data streaming. So do we have a real time without any latency or something? We are achieving near real time, but not the real time. Let's say,
In
for
Azure,
example,
you will achieve only near real time, sir. In Azure, you will achieve only near real time. Okay.
Is it same in AWS?
Same as AWS, same as Spark streaming, same as even in Kafka also. What it is doing, Kafka can capture immediately. Immediately, it can capture real-time stream, but it cannot provide that real-time stream immediately to the application, right? Again, it has to maintain some delay time at the queue level. That means topic level, like that.
so how we deal with the real time, like share market prices and other things? So what is the that we
So compromise,
adopt the technology?
compromise with 2 seconds like this, 2 seconds or 3 seconds like this. Compromise like this. Okay. If you want to really stream the real-time data, so whatever the real-time systems are there, if streams are very high speed, they are taking 10 minutes time. Instead of going that real-time 10 minutes time, here you can go with the micro batches with 3 seconds time. On that way.
Sir, if suppose there is a USQL job running for 10 hours and suddenly in between, like after 9 hours, it stopped because of the server issue or anything.
Okay.
At that time, we need to rerun the job from initial stage or what?
Straight away how to rerun. Straight away.
The processing is from right from the start, or it will pick it up where it has left.
Yes, because it is not overriding data. It is just reading data, transforming data, and writing into other different source. Okay. Meanwhile of your job, if transaction got failed, your job got failed, means everything will be rolled back.
Starting from again.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, and also the NoSQL database does not support batch processing, right?
It supports batch process, but weaker in batch process.
Okay.
NoSQL supports batch process, but very, very weaker in batch process. That's why let's dedicate NoSQL only for online systems. Okay. So if you talk about big data will come in 2 areas. Number 1, online. Number 2, batch. In the case of online, use NoSQL. Don't use RDBMS here. In case of batch, use Hadoop or use Azure Data Lake or Synapse, or use some other different solutions like this. For storage, Hadoop or Data Lake, and for processing, Spark. Okay. Here you cannot imagine RDBMS in big data online. That is the reason. If you talk about Facebook online systems are not in RDBMS. Even same story for LinkedIn, same story for Twitter. Because if it is Facebook for around 6 years or 7 years back statement, sir, it was. Okay. For 10 seconds, 3 trillion transactions. This is a story around 6 years back only. Now, after 6 years in 2021, How many transactions per 10 seconds of Facebook? We don't know. Really 3 trillion transactions are attacking your great Oracle. What you will see? Understand? Point number one. Not white smoke, sir. That will be dead.
That server will hang.
Yes. Okay. So in this way today, sir, especially if you go back for 10 years, industry was feeling very difficult if data volume is 5 terabyte.
Exactly.
10 years back story. But nowadays industries don't care because your single laptop is having 1 terabyte. If you include 5 laptops, 5 terabyte storage solution is there. But now industry is worrying about petabytes and more than that. Maybe by after 5 years, you might have reached zettabytes of data also. So in this way, of course, today techniques tomorrow will not work out, sir. Today techniques tomorrow will not work out. Again, tomorrow techniques day after tomorrow will not work out because the data volume is keep increasing. Okay, all of you, anybody here from Hadoop background, sir?
Yes.
Yes. In Hadoop, is there facility called unlimited data storage?
Yes.
Yes.
But one fine and Hadoop has to lift up the hands. What is that situation? Hadoop has unlimited scalability feature so that you can promise unlimited data storage, but Hadoop has to lift up its hands. At one situation, what is that situation?
The master node is crashed.
Data nodes.
Okay, for master node, again, alternative master nodes are there. Think that in master node, what kind of data will be stored?
Data of data.
Data of data means metadata. Okay, think that one fine and by 2025, your metadata will become 1 petabyte then. Does our master could able to store 1 petabyte of metadata only for the master?
No.
No. Then Hadoop itself has to lift up the hands or not? Now, what kind of, for data storage, you have scalability. What feature is expected? For metadata also scalability feature is expected or not?
Yes.
Okay, that solution is coming with Delta Lake. All of you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Especially data engineer guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Databricks has introduced this Delta Lake.
Sir, can you repeat again? Sorry.
Yeah.
Can you repeat again? What is Delta Lake?
So I'm not going to discuss about what is Delta Lake. First, discuss about where exactly your Hadoop will be failed. Tomorrow, your organization metadata itself has reached petabytes.
Okay.
At the time, your master could not able to handle.
Okay.
Of course, data will be handled by the slave nodes, but metadata has to be handled by masters. Suppose tomorrow your metadata volume reaches petabytes. At the time, master cannot handle that. The solution is coming with Delta Lake. Okay. When we step into the Databricks, we clearly discuss about a Delta Lake. Delta Lake is running on top of data lakes, multiple data lakes. Delta Lake is running on top of again HDFS. That means tomorrow the future data engineer, the future data engineer is not working with HDFS. On top of HDFS, there are some other solutions. Directly, he will be working with those solutions. Maybe after 10 years, it might be Exalake. One fine day, Delta Lake will lift up the hands. At the time, you need other different solution. Understand all these things, sir?
Yes,
in this
sir.
way, step by step. Being a data engineer, you have to be ready for next year data. How to handle next year data volumes. Okay. Already current year industry has solutions. Only you need to run the batch processes and how to optimize the costs, how optimize the speeds, and how to perform the complex transformations. So on that area, you can concentrate. But next year, again, your volumes will be doubled. At the time, existed solution may not be suitable. Next solution will come. Once you know, sir, you are a Hadoop developer. Because of HDFS, you know, Data Lake you could able to easily migrate. Because of Data Lake, you know, Delta Lake you can easily migrate. Tomorrow, Exalake released also, not a problem. Somewhere Data Lake stuck. Further, the next extension solution is coming with Exalake. Easily you can understand. All of you clear about my statement here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. My time is up. So
Thank you, sir.
I will share these recordings by evening, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
So tomorrow, same time by 7. Tomorrow we will finish
7
that
10.
USQ. Sorry, 7 to 10. Okay. 7
Thank
to
you,
10.
sir. Very nice session here.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Long
Have a nice
session.
day.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir,
What's
share
the
the
time?
recording.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will send these recordings by evening, sir. Yeah. Thank you very
Thank
much. Yeah. Thank you.
Sir,